So this is the practice exam 1, the graphing calculator portion of it. So let's get started on number 1. The minute hand of a clock is 7 centimeters long. How far does the tip of the minute hand move in 45 minutes? Approximate your answer to 2 decimal places. So let me just draw a picture. You know my routine. All right, now pretend this is the center of the circle, or same thing as center of the clock. And the minute hand is going to move to 45 minutes. So from here, you're going to have to revolve all the way up to here. All right, and then you're given that this minute hand, or I should say the radius of the circle, is 7 centimeters. Okay, so basically what the question's asking you is to find the arc length of the circle starting from the top and all the way up to the 45-minute mark. So first we're going to have to recall the arc length formula. Arc length formula is given by S equals R times theta, but theta must be in radian measure. So our theta is from here to here. First, let's compute the angle theta in terms of a radian measure. So theta equals 45 minutes out of 60, and then you're going to have to multiply here by 2 pi. So what do we get here? We get 45 pi. I'm going to cancel the 2 and a 60, and here you're going to have 30, which is 3 pi over 2. So we're good to go. So therefore, our S is radius is 7, times it by our angle theta in radian measure, which is 3 pi over 2. So punch that in the calculator, you should get approximately 32.99. So I'm just going to keep that as my answer. So the answer for 1 is 32.99. Don't forget your units, centimeters. Number 2, use a calculator to approximate each of the following expressions. Round your answer to 2 decimal places. So if you cannot find tangent or sine inverse or secant inverse, especially you are not going to see secant inverse on your graphing calculator. So I will try to show you how to compute that. But those of you who know already how to compute tangent of pi over 7, if you type that in, you should get, I got 0.48. Please check my work. And make sure that you're in radian measure. And then I will also show you how to go from radian measure to degree measure. Okay, now let's go with sine inverse of 0.82, and I got 0.96. And let's go with the next one, secant inverse of 2.1. Again, you're not going to see that button on your calculator, so you're going to have to memorize the formula for it. So let me just write down, maybe over here, memorize that. Let me go with secant inverse of alpha. This is cosine inverse of 1 over alpha. And also cosecant inverse of alpha, because you don't have cosecant inverse button on your calculator. This is sine inverse of 1 over alpha, and then cotangent inverse of alpha is tan inverse of 1 over alpha. So make sure to know these. So for the secant inverse of 2.1, all you have to do is compute cosine inverse of 1 over 2.1. And I got that value to be 1.07. Number 3, a right triangle has a hypotenuse of length 5 inches. If one angle is 39 degrees, find the length of each leg. Picture time. Okay, pretend that's a right triangle. All right, and one of the angle that you're given is 39 degrees. So this angle right here should be 180 minus 39, which is 141 degrees. And you're given that the hypotenuse is 5. So what you're asked to find is this length and then this length. So let's just call this one A, let's call this length B. So since 39 degrees point of view, do you see that A is going to be the adjacent side of 39 degrees and B is the opposite side of 39 degrees, and you're already given the hypotenuse. So adjacent over the hypotenuse, that will be cosine of 39 degrees. And then opposite over the hypotenuse is nothing but the sine. So let us use those. So let me first go with cosine of 39 is adjacent over hyp, which is A over 5. So that implies that multiplying by 5 on both sides, our A is 5 times cosine of 39 degrees. Now, since number 2, you use the radian measure, make sure to convert this guy into degree measure now on your calculator. Alright, so if you type that in, I got A to be approximately 3.89. So that is going to be the approximate value for A. Now let's go with B. So our B is nothing but sine of 39 degrees, which is opposite over the hypotenuse. Now multiplying by 5 on both sides, B is 5 sine 39 degrees. Punch that in. I got B equals approximately 3.15. So I'm just going to write the length. So our A is approximately 3.89 units or inches. And then our B is approximately 3.15 inches. So that's going to be the answer. Okay, so first of all, you're going to have to excuse me because right now I'm holding my iPad with my right hand, and then I'm going to be typing with my left hand blindly pretty much. So please be patient with me when I go through this. But first, let's turn on this darn thing by pressing this on button. Okay, now it's on. Now let's go with number 2. Remember, number 2, all those problems are in terms of the radian measure, and number 3 is going to be in degree measure, so keep that in mind. Now first, what you need to do is you need to check to make sure that you're in radian mode first. So to do that, go to mode, and as you see right now, I have the degree measure being highlighted. So I want to compute in terms of a radian measure, so I'm going to highlight this and then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, now how do you go back to the main screen? Is you go second mode or quit, and that should get back to you on your main page. Now to compute tangent of pi over 7, tangent button is right here, and pi is second caret divided by 7, and just hit enter, and you should get 0.482 approximation. Alright, so now let's go with number 2, sine inverse of 0.82. Oh, my hand is hurting. Alright, so first sine inverse button is right above the sine button. How do you get there is second, and then press sine, and you should see the sine inverse, and just type in 0. What do I have there? 82. Parentheses closed, and then hit enter. This is a lot harder than I thought. All right, so you should see that value. Now let's go with the secant inverse of 2.1. Now, no matter how hard you look, you're not going to find that secant inverse button. So you're going to have to memorize the formula for it. Now, secant inverse of alpha is same thing as cosine inverse of 1 over alpha. So secant inverse of 2.1 is same thing as cosine inverse of 1 over 2.1. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. So first, let's find the cosine inverse. And then 1 over 2.1. And that's the value that you should see. Okay, so number 3, you're going to have to use the degree measure. So now what you need to do is go back to mode and then scroll down and highlight the degree by hitting the, oh shoot, I can't see, I'm sorry you guys. All right, mode and then scroll down and degree, then hit the enter button. Okay, now it's fully highlighted on degree, so quit, second mode. All right, so now let's compute cosine of 39 degrees. So cosine of 39, parentheses closed. Now this is going to be in terms of a degree measure now. So hit enter. Oh, there you go. And this is the value that you should be getting. But anyways, I apologize for this shakiness. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to go over everything with you. Okay, bye.